Hey, you guys, it's Melody from Tune Bucket. Let's talk about how to learn the piano when you're over 30. Most women are not comfortable talking about their broken dreams. I get it. The would've, could'ves, should'ves, and big regrets. Let me tell you, we all have them. Now, I'm sure I'm not the only one who's ever had my heart broken. Life's hurts can leave us never wanting to try again. And yes, I'm talking about playing the piano, you guys. It feels like every birthday that passes is the death of another dream, right? I mean, who really learns to play the piano after 30? You do! Most women, we get in our heads and we talk ourselves out of following the dreams that we've had since we were little girls. Can I get an amen? I do this a lot. I say, I want to accomplish this dream. Then I'm like, can I do it? I don't know. And then fear sets in and it just takes over. You may have been like me and think that most people would say that you should learn to play the piano by 18. And if you don't, it's too late. I wholeheartedly do not believe that's why I started Tune Bucket. I have seen people start playing after 18 and play better than me, if I'm being honest. Now, it does take a different approach to learning to play the piano, one that's very simple, very easy to understand. That's what I'm here to teach you. If it has been your dream to play the piano and you're not sure where to start, here's what you need to do. I'm going to show you right now. You need to learn the notes on the piano, okay? So, this is your instrument right here. This is the piano, right? I am in the key of C. I know that because I know the notes on the piano. Now I'm in the key of A flat. I know that because I know the notes on the piano, okay? And so on and so forth. You also need to discover how easy it is to build scales. Now, you may think, oh my goodness, I just want to learn how to play the piano. Well, scales are going to help you learn how to play. I'm going to prove that to you right now. I taught a piano lesson this morning. I taught the song Blessings Everywhere. One of the fills that we did is based on the B scale. How much more basic can you get than that? When you learn to maximize the things that you know, like scales, and play fills like that, isn't that amazing? And that's just the B scale, you guys, okay? You need to learn how to play basic major and minor chords. Once you get to know me a little more and you see how I teach, you're going to see that a lot of what I teach you is based off of basic major and minor chords. Okay, for example, that's a B chord. That's just an E chord. I'm not playing anything super fancy, you guys. I'm basic, and I want to teach you guys to be able to really get the most out of what you know. I think that's so important. Okay, let's talk about learning to play the piano for church. This can be a little bit of a different ball game. As a piano player, you are also a worship leader. The role that you play in service is pivotal. Remember that you are ushering people into the presence of God by how you play. Now, this is why I am such a big promoter of women becoming more confident in their playing skills, because when you play more confidently, you can lead more confidently, okay? And your inhibition, your fear doesn't get in the way. Now, this isn't about being prideful or being the best. It's about simply being able to enter a deep place of worship without distraction, right? If I'm playing to be like Jesus, to be like Jesus, then you're going to feel like you can just close your eyes and worship. But if I'm like, to be like, I've already killed it, right? Like you don't even feel like closing your eyes and getting in the moment, because my playing is a distraction in itself. So all of this preparation is because we want our ability to take people there in worship. That's how important it is. If you've ever tried to play the piano before, you already know there's a lot of music theory that can be involved that you probably don't even remember, if I'm being honest. I took music theory in college, and we learned scales like Mixolydian. That's the only name I've ever remembered. I couldn't play it for you to save my life. But I was in the class. But in order to play in church, there are actually different, very specific skills you need to learn, like learning to be able to flow and play spontaneously. You'll be shocked to know that these skills are built on mastering the basics, you guys. The basics, like scales. That's the F scale. You can't get more simple than that, okay? Mastering the basics and learning how to use them in your playing is what's going to change the way you play, I promise. Now, there are two important things people overlook when learning to play. The first thing is allowing the sustain pedal to carry slow songs. And I want to pull up. I actually closed out my music app, and I shouldn't have done that. Let me see if this is yes, this is a loop right here. I'm going to play a song for you. I'm going to have to put my headphones on because I can't hear. So I'm going to allow the sustain pedal to carry this. Okay, and you can't see my sustain pedal, but I'm going to show you my hands. Look, Mom, no hands. Okay, the reason the sustain pedal is so important is it puts the emotion in your playing. And that's what you want. You want that emotion. You don't want... right? You don't want to chord it to death because that doesn't add any space in the song. It takes out the emotion. It takes out the feel. So, like I said, a mistake a lot of people make is not allowing the sustain pedal to really carry it. The second mistake they use is they use the same inversions over and over. So if I was playing, here I'm to worship, here I am to bow down, here I am to say that you're my God, altogether lovely, altogether worthy, altogether wonderful to me, instead of going, here I am to worship, here I am to bow down. Inversions. Okay? Changing up the inversions is going to make you sound like you're amazing. Now, before you talk yourself out of this, I want to tell you that none of us feel like we have enough time to practice or get better, especially if you're over 30. In fact, I have been personally taking a hard look at how I spend each hour of the day because I want to live a life that's meaningful. I want my days to have purpose, and I want to be doing things that matter. And when it comes to deciding what I do, I run through this filter. Will I be glad I did this in a year? And if the answer is yes, then that's the motivation I need to get started. Let me remind you, if God has given you a desire or a gift to play the piano, then it is up to you to steward that calling. It is your time to do whatever it takes to make it happen. Whatever it takes. Like consistently practicing for 15 minutes a day. A little of practice time like that goes a long way, and it allows you to step into the calling that God has given you. Here are some excuses that women say and that keeps them from learning to play. The first is I don't have enough time. The second is I'm too old. And the third is piano playing is too complicated. And I have shown you that that simply is not true. If the thought I'm too old to learn to play has ever crossed your mind, I want you to stop. Stop thinking that. Stop that thought in its tracks. This mindset is going to cause you to live with regret. Like I said, I set a timer sometimes for 15 minutes and just sit down and play. And it can be something that you already know. 15 minutes goes by pretty quick. And when you're done, you actually feel like, oh, I have invested in my dream today. Okay, let me let you in on a little secret. I am almost 40 and I feel like I play the best I've ever played in my life. And that's not something that I thought would happen, but it's because I'm now seeing the vision of why it's important for me to invest in my gift. Okay. Once again, the reality is that there are women of every age, every day who are stepping into their calling. So if you think you don't have enough time to work on the piano, I want to challenge you to try practicing a small amount of time consistently. You'll be surprised at how just practicing even 5 minutes, if you don't have a lot of time, 5 minutes of practice today will make you feel accomplished. And that will increase your confidence. And then in turn, that will increase your playing ability because you'll be confident to play more. If you thought that playing piano is too difficult, or you've taken from a teacher who maybe overcomplicated learning the piano for you, maybe they taught you things that just made your eyes cross, I'm sorry. The reality is that learning to play the piano is very simple. Like I said, if you learn inversions, that's just the F major chord, the most basic piano lesson you could ever take, F chord. That's all that was. Okay. So I have more tricks like that for you guys. Playing is mostly muscle memory. It's like talking and walking. That's how simple it is. Okay. You do that pretty well, right? What you need is a teacher that can break down learning to play the piano in a way that's easy for you to understand. Can I get an amen? So here's a solution. The At Your Own Pace lessons are for you if you've never played the piano but you want to. If you haven't played in many years and need a refresher. If you already play but struggle with making slow songs sound like they flow and they're worshipful. Or if you get stuck beating chords to death and you need tips on what to do. Or if you're not sure how to play fast songs the right way. I actually created this entire course with the musicians in my church in mind. And then I told them, take this course because I wanted them to learn to play. Here's what you need to do. Get on the wait list, and you can do that by clicking the link below. It opens October the 18th at your own pace. Lessons will be opening then, and that's the last time they open this year. So make sure that you do get in. Guys, I show up this way. I show up in these videos. I do these lessons because I believe in you. God has given you a calling. He's given you a talent, or he's given you a desire to play for a reason. Now, he's not going to come down from heaven, take your hands, put them on the keyboard, and play for you, right? And he's not going to walk through your front door and sit on the couch and watch you practice. That's something that we have to do. And I'm here to encourage you to do that. Take this time to invest in that gift. Let me ask you this. In a year, will you regret it? If the answer is no, you will not regret it. Join the wait list. That's your answer. Bye, you guys.